I was reading one of my sources, the LA Times, and I was checking out what Kawhi Leonard had to say about the Clippers. And, very interesting comments because he definitely, kind of gave his analysis on what he thinks, this team could be. And, basically in a nutshell, Kawhi says, he believes this team could be great. He believes the Clippers can be great. And, he said it's not about anything with assisted turnover ratio. It's not about defense. It's not about anything else. It's not quantifiable. It's not none of those things. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the chemistry. And that's, perfect. That's exactly what, the Clippers, need to hear from their best player. They need to hear about, the continuity being the number one thing over everything. And I know Kawhi knows about these things because he's won championships. And he knows that one guy can do a lot, but one guy is not going to win a championship. It takes a team. It takes everybody knowing their role. It takes everybody understanding their role. And it takes everybody wanting to play for one another to build a continuity and chemistry that other teams can't break no matter what situation you get in. And, hearing Kawhi Leonard say he believes in this team and he knows this team could be great. And it's like a feeling that you get is what Kawhi Leonard mentioned also. It's a feeling when you got a great team and you got a good enough team to win it. It's a feeling that you get, with that team and that roster. And I'm glad he has that feeling with the Clippers because he invested a lot of his time here, the last 4 seasons. And, this is pretty much it for the Clippers, you know what I'm saying? Because the window has shrunk for their championship opportunity. This is probably the last year you're going to see all these guys together. This is probably the last year you might actually see, maybe possibly Kawhi and PG together if it doesn't work out to win a championship. So, it's a lot of things riding right now, a lot of stakes high. Everything's at an all-time high with the Clippers because their momentum is good. While that's good, but they also have that shrinking window to win that championship. And this year they have all the pressure on them to win it. Also, even though they might have momentum right now with Russ and everything, and looks like they're trying to figure things out and things like that. But like I said, it's do or die for the Clippers this year. And, for Kawhi to speak out and say that, it's a good feeling or a type of weird feeling that he has, that this team could be great and do great things like win a championship, in regards to what he's talking about. That's huge because, I'm saying what we've seen from this team throughout this season, a lot of us been on the up and down, roller coaster with this team. But, it's good to hear your superstar player have that confidence in you, and of course having confidence in himself that he can help be a part of the team and lead this team to a championship along with Paul George, and be the player he needs to be, in order for this team to get over the hump. That's definitely, great for any Clippers fans to hear and everything, all Clippers fans to hear. So, I'm glad to hear him say that, but I really hope this team does put it together because like I said, I think if they can at least get to the finals, I think they have a great chance against anybody on the East because, as I said, because it's all about matchups. And even if they had to play a team like the Bucks or something like that in the finals, I still feel like they would have a very good chance, even though the Bucks would be difficult because they got a lot of, good pieces and everything. But Kawhi would just turn into the Michael Jordan that he is. And if, I believe, Paul George can actually, be that player he needs to be, what I'm saying, in the situation. So, I think they have the opportunity, and I think Russ can, set aside his pride and, and do his best for the team and help them win and push them to be the best team they can be, with him on the floor. And I think if they can just continuously build off of that and with that type of confidence as a, as a unit, as a team, and the rest of the guys follow, this team can go very far in the playoffs. And there's no doubt about that. They can go very far. And, I'm glad the fact that, as I said again, Kawhi Kawhi Leonard believes that because, if you're going to help lead a team to a championship, you got to feel like you got the pieces around you. And Kawhi saying this is so good because this is so far off from what he sounded like 3-4 years ago when they lost in the bubble, saying that we need high IQ players, high IQ coaches, all those type of things that was being put out there at the time. Now you're hearing Kawhi saying he has confidence in the team, confidence in the guys, and it's starting to it feel like it's starting to come around well-rounded, come around the way it's supposed to, and I think that's great for the Clippers. I think it's great for the organization. I think it's great for, Kawhi Leonard and just the whole team because this continuity that apparently Kawhi Leonard feels with this team and this great feeling he has about them, in which he says it's hard to explain. It's just one of those things. You just know it when you feel it. That's exactly what we envision the Clippers being like. This team where they would, gel, be this juggernaut team on defense and offense. They had Kawhi and PG that can fill up the stat sheet with anybody, but also be active and energetic on the defensive end. And their chemistry builds so good until it made them into this championship, dynamic type team that a lot of people envision them to be. And, hearing Kawhi Leonard say this, it's definitely going to give a lot more people confidence, that the Clippers can really actually go out and do it. A lot of people believe that they can go out and win a championship, but when you hear from the players and you hear from the player standpoint and their confidence and how they sound and how they're playing at the same time, letting their gameplay do the talking while they're actually talking some themselves and mentioning to you things like this, from what you hear from Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and some of the other guys on the team about the spirit of this team and where they're trying to get to, is definitely encouraging, but it's also a relief because, you definitely want to hear your top players, come off this way, but you also want to know that your top players believe that it can happen. And, with Kawhi Leonard, saying this, which him not saying it being the type of guy who doesn't say much, it means times two coming from Kawhi Leonard because he doesn't talk at all. So when he does mention and says things like this, it really resonates, and, with not only, his roster, his guys in the locker room, but fans even more so. And definitely Steve Ballmer loves to hear something like this. And I love to hear it too, because this is something really good to hear, especially now we're getting ready to enter the playoffs in less than maybe 2 or 3 weeks, or give or take from now. And you definitely want to hear this type of spirit and this type of confidence, because going into the playoffs, they're going to need it. It's going to be tough in the West. You got a lot of competition, and every game counts, even more now, because every team you face is good enough to probably go to the NBA finals. You know what I'm saying? And the Western Conference is just that tight. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you gotta be built, you gotta be ready, and you gotta be the best team you can be. And the Clippers are definitely trying to get there. I can definitely see it. I'm definitely, noticing some things about them. Of course, they got some flaws and kinks to work out, but it's gonna be tough for them to kind of put it all together with Russ added to the team. But anything is possible. I'm not gonna leave anything out. I just think it's improbable to win with Russell Westbrook, but I mean, nothing in life is impossible, what they say. So, we're going to go with that and ride with that and see where it takes them, because, like I said, it's championship or bust with this team, and they know that. And, I know Ty Lue wants to see some of these guys come back again, possibly, after this season, possibly with them winning a championship, but it's less likely to happen, of course, if, they don't get to the destination that they were or set out to do, which is win a championship, being in the finals. So, we'll only see, what time telling and dictating how it goes. But right now, overall, I like what I'm seeing with the team, and just the comments around the locker room and them just trying to do what they got to do and build is their ultimate, thought process. That makes me feel good about, their chances, and makes me feel good about their chances going forward.